What's up, boys and girls? This is Lance White, and you are watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZepXTV. This is the Friday Night Smackdown review for the week of October 25th, 2013. Let me introduce you to my co-reviewer for the week. He is the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, which can be heard exclusively on YouTube.com/HWR Show. He is the illuminous one, the shining star, Rick Starr. Rick, how you shining?
I'm doing alright, Billy. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's get into the Friday Night Smackdown this week. We look at the opening, which was basically a promo for Hell in a Cell involving Daniel Bryan and Triple H. And, you know, it's something I've said time in and time out, you know, it's a safe bet, a safe thing to say right now, Rick, that Daniel Bryan has to be the most over guy in the WWE right now.
Absolutely. He has been just getting a big push, and it's just getting up and over and over and over. I mean, some would say his push had started from Night of Champions, but I mean, if you really think about it, it started even before that. It's probably started from when his team Hell No, when he started with the weak link, angle, and it's just gone from way over there, and it's just kept on going.
Daniel Bryan in this promo saying that come Hell in the Cell, he's going to prove Triple H wrong. That he is completely wrong about Daniel Bryan. Only time will tell if Daniel Bryan will be right and if he becomes the new WWE champion. 3.5 out of 5 on that opening promo. As we look at the opening match for Friday Night Smackdown this week, the Usos taking on the Wyatt family with The Miz on commentary. Rick, right off the bat, with Miz on commentary, it was another safe bet and another safe thing to say that there was going to be some sort of interference with Miz being out there.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mean, with these two, they're trying to create a storyline, and it was just... They wouldn't have him out there for any other reason than to start fighting, and that's exactly what happened. I think it was maybe 3 or 4 minutes into the match before... Wyatt got out of his rocking chair, and Miz was like, nah, fuck you, that's not happening. Goes right around, bang, knocks him over, and then I think it's Rowans gets out, and then chases him up the ramp, and, you can take him from there.
Yeah, the finish of the match, the Usos hit a, what I called a rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels type of double super kick on Harper and get the win. So the winners are the Usos, and the Wyatt family suffering what I believe is their second loss in a wrestling in WWE. I could be wrong, but I think it's their second. As we look at AJ Lee and Nikki Bella, which was basically a lot of people look at it as a as a preview a little bit of Brie Bella. Nikki Bella only having her second match on TV back in the WWE. She is a little bit behind, Brie Bella, but Brie Bella really being able to shine as of late in the WWE. And I've said it before, I've been, kind of on the case of the Bellas, saying that, they really don't have a point to bringing them back. Brie Bella has really proven to be wrong as a couple, the past few weeks. Nikki Bella coming back, I gotta say, it's probably, ring rust a little bit. When you're out the ring for so long as she was, it takes a little while to get back into the swing of things, and I think that's probably what's going on with Nikki Bella. As on the finish of this match was, it was kind of obvious that AJ Lee was going to go over on Nikki Bella with the Divas title being on the line this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. AJ locks in the Black Widow for the tap out, so AJ Lee is your winner. And I got to go 3.75 out of 5 on that one. Just to be kind, Rick. Just to be kind.
Yeah, it looked like she botched a little bit, a few spots here or there, but I guess overall, yeah, it wasn't all right. It was an all right match, given what it was, I guess.
To build on what you were saying earlier about them building a feud, an angle between The Miz and the Wyatt family, backstage, Bray Wyatt has got the attention of a cameraman. He brings him backstage, and they apparently caught up to the Miz, knocked him unconscious. He had a sheet mask on his face and the word liar branded on his chest. So Bray Wyatt saying that, you know, he was going to give him a whole new meaning to the term "follow the buzzards." And notice he said buzzards, and unlike what some people on the Monday Night Raw review were saying that he only said buzzers. Anyway, for the umpteenth time, we've had Los Matadores and 3MB. In this incarnation, 3MB is Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre. And I'm like, okay, why are we having Los Matadores and 3MB yet again on WWE programming, Rick?
That's just WWE for you. I mean, if you look through the past, I think, maybe year and a half, they've been doing this over and over and over again. Even they go Raw, SmackDown, even what I call the lame event, constant rematches, and it's just, you can probably go back there, but I'll be kind and just say the past year, and it's just getting, they used to have what's called rubber band matches. One match, then they would have a rematch, and then another match, and it would be over. And it's just, they don't do that anymore. They just do a series of matches, like 5, 6, 7 matches. I mean, before they would actually call it a series of matches, back in the day, Chris Benoit and Booker T, and that's when it would be interesting, because hey, look, this is what we're going to do. These guys just say, oh, well, we're going to have a series of matches. We're going to have, match, and of course, it's just, a squash match, and you know who's going to win. I didn't even pay attention to the match. I know who won, but I really don't know what happened in the match.
Yeah, well, basically, the Los Matadores hit an interesting combo of sorts, a Bulldog Flatliner combo on Drew McIntyre to get the pin. Los Matadores are your winners, and Real Americans have been on stage this entire time, the entire duration of this match, and Zeb Coulter goes to cut a promo, which kind of sets up a match now, a newly added match to Hell in the Cell of Los Matadores and the Real Americans. So finally, Los Matadores working a team that's not 3MB. So that should be somewhat interesting. Look for either the El Torito or the Bullwhip to come into play at that match. Your score for Los Matadores and 3MB, Rick?
Considering I've seen it already 3 times, I can't even give it a 1. I'm sorry. It's just enough is enough is enough. It's just not entertainment. There's no entertainment value. It didn't even catch my attention. I kind of looked over and said, oh yeah, this match again. I know Los Matadores is going to win, and I just worked on my page. And then I saw that they won. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It was like watching a commercial.
Well, I guess up next to probably put more heat on them to get the fans to hate them even more, we had a no disqualification handicap match. Ryback and Paul Heyman taking on CM Skunk. You heard me right. It's a guy. If any of you guys recognize who this indie talent is, because WWE does employ a lot of indie talents and people like that to work these kind of various things that they're doing, like this parody of CM Punk with CM Skunk. If you guys know who this guy is, we really would like to know who this guy is, because, to be honest, even though he was just parodying CM Punk out there, he was actually spot on with a lot of his spots in the ring, and he did look good to me, even though he was just going out there jobbing, he made it look good, and that's good to me. So if you guys know who that is, I would personally like to know who that guy was. But like I said, this was just basically a parody of CM Punk, again, to put over the Ryback Paul Heyman CM Punk Hell in the Cell handicap match that's coming up this Sunday. Ryback hits Shell Shock on the guy, and then Paul Heyman pinned him, and Paul Heyman then gets on the microphone and says, if you think we're not serious, even though this is a parody, we are deadly serious about what's going to happen to CM Punk. So, I gotta say, I'll give them points for thinking outside the box a little bit with CM Skunk, even painting up his hair like that. So, at being very, very kind about it, Rick, I'm going 3 out of 5.
Yeah, that's pretty much all this match really deserved. I mean, for what it was just that. Obviously, it was to give the match, and both, of course, Ryback and Paul Heyman a little bit of cheap heat, and that's what it did.
Biggie Langston kind of nudged Vicky Guerrero the right way to get her to put him in the main event match tonight, considering the fact The Miz was supposed to be in that match and he ends up getting injured at the hands of the Wyatt family. So that's what happened backstage after that. As we go next, Alberto Del Rio going on the stage to basically cut a promo of one about Hell in the Cell and two basically telling the people that they can all kiss his, I guess, derriere of sorts, and that's pretty much how that panned it out. And I think maybe the only real purpose that this served, Rick, was to put more heat on Alberto Del Rio. Do you think it served its purpose?
Again, this is just something, this is just all building heat and generating heat, because obviously he's trying to start a feud for someone who's not there, being Cena. So, for somebody who's put in a position that he's in, he's doing a very good job. I got to give credit to Alberto Del Rio. He's doesn't have a lot to do with, because he's trying to start a feud. He's doing a feud with John Cena, and most guys usually can have a feud with some guys with via satellite. He doesn't even have that.
Yeah.
He has nothing.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. Your score for the promo?
For what it was, I'll give him a 3. And that, again, that's a lot for somebody who's been talking to nobody. You know what I mean? Throughout that, that's really, that really is a plus.
Yes, you do touch on a good point there. And I will say this about R-Truth and Santita Marella. The WWE Shop promo for 3 minutes, that was actually quite entertaining and quite hilarious. So I gotta say, I think WWE's maybe they got something good now. A good way to promote WWEshop.com and their products in a very entertaining facet and form with R-Truth and Santino Marella. They need to have a good use of these guys, and maybe that's it for the R-Truth and Santino Marella right now. They can be very entertaining when they want to be, and R-Truth definitely was entertaining, and so was Santino. So I'll give it to those two guys. It was a good WWE Shop promo for once in WWE history. As we got Great Khali and this is something we were just harkening about with Los Matadores and 3MB. For the umpteenth time, Great Khali and Fandango, but I think the bigger spotlight was on Natalya and Summer Rae. Summer Rae was on the ring trying to cause a distraction to Great Khali. Natalya comes out, yanks her down. Summer Rae slaps her in the face, and next thing you know, they run into the ring, and the referee has no recourse but to throw the match out, and that's pretty much how they ended it. And one thing I said on Facebook, Rick, is, can you say filler match? I knew you could.
You know what? You could say filler match. I say, are we seeing a feud starting between Natalya and Summer Rae? I think this is what they did. It's been a filler, obviously, but I think sometimes in this case, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get a feud, because Summer Rae, if you watch her over in NXT, she really is a gifted wrestler.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, though, Summer Rae, has established herself on NXT, but she hasn't established herself in the ring in the WWE. A lot of fans, for the life of me, don't watch NXT because of, the Hulu thing and whatnot. But, a lot of fans are not aware that Hulu, you can watch NXT for free now. I wasn't aware of it at the time until just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that's why, every week I have that link directly on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio, plug. But, still, like I said, you and I just figured that out 2 weeks ago, and I think this is her. This is going to be her first, feud, and they're going to test the waters and see how she does.
I'll tell you what, she couldn't have found a better person to work with than Natalya. Talk about in-ring experience and having the lineage that she has, being a part of the Neidhart family with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I don't care what anyone else says. Jim the Neidhart was indeed a good wrestler, or else he wouldn't have been as successful as he was in the 80s and the 90s. Main event For Friday Night Smackdown this week, an 8-man tag match, Daniel Bryan, Biggie Langston, Goldust, and Cody Rhodes taking on The Shield and Randy Orton. Way to compile storylines of sorts. Of course, you have the involvement of The Shield, Goldust, and Cody Rhodes with the tag team titles, and of course, Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan, and then Biggie Langston, and, well, there really was nobody else for him to work with, because he's supposed to be working with Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental title at Hell in a Cell. So I don't understand the non-involvement of Curtis Axel, but then again, if they probably would have put him in there, Rick, it kind of would have made it maybe a little blatantly obvious.
Yeah, it did. I can see that. I mean, either way, this definitely built a lot of heat for this pay-per-view, for the following up pay-per-view. And you know what? This was a really excellent match. This probably was the match of the night.
Oh, yes, it was a very good match. A lot of good back and forth. In fact, when was the last time we seen Goldust do a crossbody off the top rope?
Been quite some time. Quite some time. I don't think it's... you know what? I'm going to go back. I don't think I have ever seen him do one. So, it's...
That proves in how good a shape he's in, because the word is he's done DDP yoga, correct? For him to get in that good a shape.
Yeah, for amongst other reasons, yes.
Yeah, he looks in fantastic shape. Even JBL said it looked like Goldust turned back the hands of time, like he's back in the Attitude Era, because he was good in the Attitude Era, and he looks just in as good shape, if not better shape, than he was back in the Attitude Era for the WWE. So I gotta say, kudos to Goldust for getting in good shape. But the finish of the match, Biggie Langston really wanted to prove himself of sorts, proved himself to be a distraction. Randy Orton goes to RKO him. Langston shrugs him off, and when Langston shrugged him off, it was right into the running knee of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan getting the pin on Randy Orton. If he does that at Hell in a Cell, then he will be the new WWE champion. But tonight, the winners, Daniel Bryan, Biggie Langston, Goldust, and Cody Rhodes. 4 out of 5 on this main event match, as we now go to the overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Friday Night Smackdown. And I gotta agree with what you said, Rick. The best match of the night definitely was your main event match. Daniel Bryan, Biggie Langston, Goldust, Cody Rhodes taking on The Shield and Randy Orton. The crowd was into it. I was into it. Commentary could have been a little bit better. WWE commentary has really been lacking as of late, but, then again, they're being told what to say. Ooh, I wonder how many taboos I've just broken by saying that, but I'm still going to say it anyway, because it's my channel. I'm going to say it. And then, of course, worst match, originally was going to be Los Matadores and 3MB, but I actually liked Los Matadores, and especially El Torito. So you know what? I'm going to fall it on Great Khali and Fandango. Because to me, it was just a waste of time. And like I said, there was more focus on Natalya and Summer Rae. And if they really want to introduce Summer Rae, as an in-ring competitor, then they picked a really good person for her to work with Natalya. But as far as Great Khali and Fandango, I was like, oh, again. That's worse than Los Matadores and 3MB for the umpteenth time. So I gotta give it to Great Khali and Fandango, Rick. So my overall score is going to be a hefty, generous 3.75 out of 5.
Well, I don't know about the overall score, if I have to agree with you on that. But, the one thing we definitely agree on is the main event. The main event, without a doubt, was the shining star, no pun intended, of, this Friday Night Smackdown Go-Home show. The one thing I definitely have to disagree with you on was the worst show of the night. And I'm sorry, it was a Los Matadores, match against 3MB for the gazillionth time, because it's just enough is enough. Like I said, there was no entertainment value. It was the same thing over and over and over and over again. You knew what was coming. You didn't even, you knew they were, going to do a feud because they had 2 promos waiting for it. So it's like, okay, yep, that's coming. So what you did not see coming in the Fandango and the Kali match was, the Natalya and the Summer Rae. That shows something starting. And even if Fandango and Kali never set up a fight, or even have another match, we have something totally new with the Divas. That's why I think there's something different, and that's why I have to give that a little bit more of a niche, a little bit more of an entertainment value.
Well, we're all entitled to our opinions on that.
Yeah, absolutely, but I'm just saying, for me, that's why I'm just giving that why I see the entertainment value. As far as the overall, I can't give it a 4.0 on the whole thing. It was an okay show, but I'd have to give it a solid 3.
Yep, so what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown this week. What was your overall score? And what are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Friday Night Smackdown? What are your reactions to our comments on this week's review? We want to hear from you guys out there. Especially guys like you, Ecstasy69 and Meta Ruler 45. You guys have been commenting as of late. We really want to hear from what you guys have to say. So be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Rick, where can fans check you out on HWR?
Of course, they can always check me out on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And don't forget to check us out and subscribe to us at our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/HWR Show. And if you don't know what that is, just look us up on Hardcore Wrestling Radio. You'll find us.
Fans, also don't forget to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the illuminous one, the shining star, Rick Starr, I'm the WrestleGamer, WB Bully Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching. Tonight's review of Friday Night Smackdown has been brought to you by James of the Big Easy's brand new charity, Rick Starr's hiding spot for me for saying that I tapped Lady Tappa.
Well, it could have been worse, Billy. You could have been tapping Lady Clapper.
Ah!
Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Spiritual medium. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. I'm Haley Ringrose. Stoke answers.
My name's Andrew Weatherall.
Spiritual medium. Stoke answers.